People. Que pasa, sapa, say what they do. Now, people, this one is called the potter called the kettle black, or thief, no likes a thief with long bag. This one is called bushing scandal 2.0. And this is based on some damning allegation that the PNP is making against the JLP, where I talk about the Jamaica Labour Party. The PNP is alleging that $1.6 billion. The PNP is alleging that over $1.6 billion in a bushing scheme under the Farm Road Rehabilitation Program through RADA. And when I speak about RADA, I am speaking about the Rural Agricultural Development Authority. And according to Mr. PHillips, who is the opposition leader, he is saying that this is one of the grandest scheme or scam in the history of politics or politics. Now, for those of you that don't know what this program is like, I am speaking about a kind of program like back in the days called Crash Program, or even Portia Simpson Jeep, which never really took place. It is a program where they give poor people some work in the Christmas to make sure so them have some money in them pocket. However, it seems like some of these government officials find a way to get a next new scam to put some money in them pocket instead of putting the money where it is supposed to go, into beautifying the country. We are talking about the country, we are talking about the rural sides. So anyways, the big wigs in the PNP, may I talk about the top official, may I talk about the top members them. They kept a conference yesterday or a day or two ago, and they announced the scandal 2.0. We are talking about bushing scandal 2.0. And according to PHillips, this one is of enormous proportion. That means that it's gigantic. That means that it is bigger than the first one. We are talking about bushing scandal 1.0. So people, it seems like they did not learn from the first one. So therefore, them come back for more money. Them come back for thief more money. Point blank and period. So just based on what the PNP is saying, that under this rehabilitation roadwork program, contracts were given out totaling in excess of $1.6 billion. And people, when me talk about billion, may I talk about $1,000 million. We are talking about buku cash. We are talking about enough cheddar. We are talking about enough cheese. And based on their documentation, it said that this $1.6 billion was spent on St. Thomas alone. And what makes this whole thing more disturbing is the fact that the PNP claimed that there was a quote for $600 million for the whole nation. We are talking about all 14 parishes, Cornwall, Middlesex and Surrey. However, for St. Thomas, it comes over 3 times. We are talking about $1.6 billion. So people, we are talking about $600 million for 14 parishes versus $1.6 billion for one parish. So people, the moral of the story is this. When you do the maths, it is not complicated. It does not take a rocket scientist. It is not additional maths or trigonometry. This is called mad maths. This is called theft in the worstest form, point blank and period. And what makes this even worse is that based on the PNP's allegation, they are saying that this $1.6 billion is just for bushing or de-bushing. It is not for road work. It is not for patching. It is not for beautifying the place, just bushing. So people, we are speaking about $600 million for a total package for the 14 parishes. However, in just St. Thomas, we are talking about $1.6 billion for just de-bushing. People, that is enormous. So just based on what PHillips from the PNP is saying, there is a 6,000% difference per kilometer per road work versus for this program in St. Thomas compared to what the National Work Agency usually pay. So people, we are talking about some theft in the worstest form. We are speaking about the worstest case scenario, point blank and period. Now I know that when I say 6,000% difference in the estimate, I know that a lot of people are going to get confused. So therefore, I am going to give you the reference of the PNP, and I am also going to give you the reference or the quote from the NAA. May I talk about the National Work Agency. According to the quote from the JLP, they paid $10,380,000 per kilometer of work. We are talking about debushing. According to the National Work Agency, they pay $150,000 per kilometer of road work or bushing. So people, when I do the maths, it comes up to a whopping $10,230,000 difference per mile or kilometer of road work. So people, we can see the theft in that easily. So just based on what the PNP is saying is that they have at least 2 incidents where the JLP paid those exorbitant rate or estimate. And what is even worse is that there was no evidence, no documentation of any work being done. So basically what they are saying is that they are doing the paperwork, they are doctoring up the paperwork, but no actual work is being done. So therefore people are getting paid, contractors are getting paid, JLP MPs and politicians are getting paid. However, there is no work done. None of these workmen are getting any part of this $10.38 million per kilometer of road work. People, it is a scam, it is a sham. And what makes this worse, and based on what the PNP is saying, is that RADA is not even responsible for patching roadwork or bushing. That is not their authority. They are not the authority of that. It is supposed to be the responsibility of the National Works Agency. So therefore, we see exactly what is going on. There is a conspiracy to thief public funds, point blank and period. So just based on this meeting, we see that PHillips and the PNP are up in arms, and they say that they want the Auditor General to conduct a full-scale financial audit on the road rehabilitation program. So people, he is saying that there is big time theft going on. He is saying that somebody is getting rich, and it is not the PNP, it is not him. So people, is this a case where thief does not like to see a thief with long bag, or the kettle is calling the pot black? People, make me know what you think in the comment section. So the moral of the story is that the PNP, we are talking about PHillips. He is screaming BLOODY hell. He wants all the necessary authority. We are speaking about the Auditor General. We are speaking about the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency. May I talk about MOCA for step in and do a major investigation of what seems to be a massive scheme for thief public funds. Now people, let me ask you a question. When did the PNP get some conscience? When are they worried? When were they worried about corruption in Jamaica? Because people, as soon as them get a chance, they are basically going to do the same thing. Because the truth and the fact is that 90% of these politicians in Jamaica are some thief, some conman, some scammer, point blank and period. Now people, like them say, there is always 3 sides to the story. We are talking about PNP, we are talking about PHillips, and we are speaking about RADA. And based on what RADA is saying, that estimate for 1.6 or over 1.6 was for a 4-year period. And it included road work, we are talking about patching and also bushing. And this was for a 4-year period, like I said before, and it was nationwide. So people, the point that I am trying to make is this. Based on what the PNP is saying versus what RADA is saying versus what the JLP is saying, we see that there's a big discrepancy or a big difference. Because based on what the person from RADA is saying, this $1.7 billion is for a 4-year period all over the nation. We are talking about the whole of Jamaica. And based on what Peter Phillips from the PNP is saying, this $1.6 billion is just for St. Thomas. So people, who is telling the truth? Is Peter Phillips and the PNP exaggerating? Is this a case where thief don't like to see thief with long bag? People, make me know what you think in the comment section. So the official from RADA is saying that these allegations by Peter Phillips is false. They are over-exaggerated by 6,000%. As a matter of fact, he is saying that his quotes or the monies or the contracts that were paid are consistent with that of National Works Agency, the National Works Agency. So people, the question is this: if you already have an authority in Jamaica that takes care of road work, why is RADA now responsible for road work in Jamaica? People, somebody please answer that question. And that is what raised eyebrows. That is why people are suspicious, because it seems like the JLP gets some people to come in a conspiracy for thief Jamaica money like they've always done, like the PNP have always done. So people, like we see, it is a pot calling the kettle black, point blank and period. So people, like me say, it is just my views and opinion. It is not the gospel. Your views and opinion can be respectfully different from mine. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Bless up.